Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Silver Jubilee of NITRUS Talks. This is our 25th NITRUS Talk. And we are talking about AI and the adoption. So the artificial intelligence word, it was crafted by John McCarthy in 1955. So many years have passed, and we have gone through the journey via neural networks, expert systems, machine learning. It was all there. Engineers were working on it, but only in November 22, when ChatGPT came on board, it was released. That's when AI actually exploded. And I think it was the fastest app to reach 100 million users. And then after that, we have seen the progress, the explosion of available large language models, and the general, Gen AI progress is also there. So we have three NIT Raipur alumni who have worked in AI, have been doing things. So they are today with us on a panel discussion. So we have Sandeep Baghel of 96 Electrical Batch. He is a senior vice president in Perry Ellis in Florida. He has been leading a lot of projects, so he can give us the insight on how actually in the real life AI is helping. We have Gopesh Sahu, 98 Electrical. He works for Equifax, and he is a cloud architect. And he has done a lot of work in AI. He has even given a NITRUS talk on AI. And then we have our youngest member, Aditya Agrawal, 2014 Mechanical. And he is a founder and CEO of SuperU. And they are working in the voice AI, not only voice, but I think they must be doing something more. He's also doing a lecture series by spreading the word about AI. So, and he has also worked with Tesla before. So we have three people, and I think I will let the floor to them. And all the other people, please mute your mic. And I think we'll start with Aditya's presentation. Please go ahead.
Hi everyone. So I'll run through the presentation in maybe 10 to 15 minutes, give a quick background about me, what we do at SuperU, and just like what we have been seeing in the last 1 to 2 years, not only in our space, but little bit about like just the broader space. And at the end, I think we'll start with like little bit of panel discussion between me, Gopesh sir, and Sandeep sir. And then we open the floor for open Q&A. So in case you also have any questions in between, feel free to drop. We'll take all the questions at the end. And then as Rahul sir said, you can raise your hands and just run through the questions. So I'll jump quickly to the presentation part. Let me know if you guys see my screen.
Cool. You can see it.
You guys can see it? Awesome. So just quickly, our vision is to make million calls a day for businesses. And the mission is that we achieve AI call center autonomy, which goes beyond just voice AI, but also like on messaging and CRM integration and whatnot. Quick background about me. I'm founder and CEO at SuperU. We raised a small funding round a couple of years back to build the stack and to build out the company. I usually Tesla's data program in Bay Area, which meant I launched Tesla's insurance program, built out their CRM and HRMS platform. So I've been in the space for last 10 years now. So what we are seeing, in AI so far, right? So there's a lot of talk around AI. There's a lot of good.
Sorry, minimize your other window.
Oh, this one's coming in between.
Yeah,
now
it's good.
Okay, got it. So there's a lot of talk on AI. There's a lot of tech and platforms which have been built. I think what happened 2 years back, everybody felt and thought that AI is like a Harry Potter wand, which will fix everything and anything. And that time the technology was still getting started, right? So with me, I have a couple of panelists here who are all working in AI for the last 10 years. And we have seen that journey since I think early 2010s, right? Of people using KNN, CNN, a couple of decision tree here, there. And then suddenly the transformer model came and just transformer model blew everything out of proportion, right? But still, like just the LLM part couldn't and didn't solve for everything, right? So the maturity of platforms have really started coming in the last 1 year, which also has helped us to be a very mature platform now. Uh, but a lot of people who were like 2 years back playing and not like kind of building the apps like on top of it. So now they have started building, right? So now we are seeing real life applications which are driving value, either from cost saving or efficiency. And actually, efficiency is way more than the cost saving part. So just a couple of pointers here, right? From a broader perspective, what we see is like um, from a broader sense, AI services is picking out really well. And why? On because now you have platforms and engineering, but there's not enough people distributing it, right? So think about it. Coca-Cola is this huge company, makes 10 million bottles in a day, but everything sits in a factory, right? And nothing moves, right? So there is no buyer, there is no one distributing it, there is no supply chain, right? So that's what I see a lot with AI today. So there is a lot of good apps and products and platforms which are built, but there's not enough distribution in the market yet, right? The just 2 days back in our like community, we were discussing about how like Microsoft came out with a tool, and then everybody in the company started using it, which is still new, right? There are things like this just happening. Trying to move to the next one. So just a broader AI landscape, what we see, right? So there are like infra companies which are building hardware, right? So NVIDIA of the world and Google of the world, which are busy building hardware. And on the top of it, there are cloud companies which are enabling those hardwares to be used by everyone, right? And then there are foundation models, right? So ChatGPT and Grok of the world build models, and then on the top of that there are application companies, right, like us, right? So like, I mean, SuperU plays heavily in the AI call center and voice AI space. There are like, think about companies like Perplexity. There are companies like Lovable, right? Where you go and build that, but the inherent model is probably coming from a company like Cohere, right? So there are platform companies, and then there'll be a series of distribution companies, right? So Accenture, TCS, Capgemini were like the service companies of past. So 10 years, 15 years back. Now what we are seeing is a lot of AI services companies are coming up, which are building on top of companies like us, right? Or companies like Lovable, and building fast and delivering fast website building, right? So they are AI driven website builder companies instead of just website building companies, and their pricing model and everything is very different, right? There are a couple of broader spaces where we see people are spending a lot in AI, or the interest is very high. One is definitely customer facing. It's not just inbound calls or inbound notion, but it's also a lot of outbound notion, right? So outbound notion is, think about let's say you are sitting at home, and then you get this call from one of the real estate companies asking, hey, are you looking for a place, right? Or are you looking to buy a house, right? So those are like more outbounding. Inbound is when you need something from Indigo and you call Indigo, your queries are solved as soon as like you call them, right? And you don't have to wait for 30 minutes to get it solved, right? The second aspect is revenue ops, where again, right, as a company, like you have 10 to 15 touch points to a customer before they start paying, right? So the first initial reach out, then nurturing them, right? Nurturing them not always happens on a Google meeting, but maybe you're sending a quick AI email. You're sending them a quick AI chat, right? Which obviously your customer does not know. They feel like you are interacting with them. And then you're doing this 10, 12 conversations with them before they actually end up paying, right? Or before they start paying. Internal productivity, we have obviously seen from like code generation to website building. and knowledge assistant, right? And then there's a lot of ops side things, which I think still like very early on, right? So we have not seen a lot in the supply chain and operation space, which we're still to see right now because they are way more complex and complicated. So this is a real life problem statement. I'll show you.
Uh,
Yeah. So like the one like here, what you're seeing is that this agent could do 100,000 to a million calls in a day. Once the customer shows interest, sends you a WhatsApp message, gets your interest, pass your contact to a store manager, right? I'll probably show you this, right? Pass it to the store manager. From the store manager, then the interaction starts, and then you go to the store, right? So you're kind of creating and completing this entire loop all with AI, right? And with single human. In past, to make those 100,000 calls, you would need at least like 200 to 500 callers, right? Who sit and call. And then you'll need 50 people who do closing. And now all of this is literally just run by the AI. I'll show you one more example of an ad which is completely built with AI. Yeah. So in a traditional world, this ad would cost you 50 lakh to 70 lakh rupees and probably take you at least 1 to 2 weeks of time. But this ad was built in 3 to 5 lakhs and literally in less than a day. Okay. I'll not bore you guys through the entirety, but just wanted to give a background of how like things in different space. So we have seen image generation, video generation, a lot of calling, messaging are all literally right now as we speak is being done by AI, right? And I mean, we are all like aware that it's not an option, but it's like a must thing. And automations are being run at scale. Like, so, I mean, talking about Super U, we have done around a million calls with AI, with like just a team of 10 or 11 people, right? And that shows like the kind of scale you can reach at just like with like a minimal cost, minimal human resource, right? These are kind of the industries where we are seeing very high demands in the AI space. Some of it is basically because it's a very high touch point industry, or it's a very high price point industry, right? So people pay a lot more. um, some are very like where users have too many options, right? So like e-commerce, users have tens of options. So unless like you get move really fast and you get the customer, you don't close them, right? Or the customer gets distracted, right? So there are a couple of industries where things move really fast when it comes to AI, right? And like what our thesis right now is, which I think we are very strong about, is the platforms and the tools has got really smart now with AI. It's still, I think, far from distribution, right? So if we talk to our friends, talk to like our colleagues, they talk about AI, but they don't use that much, right? So we still need like probably a huge number of people either distributing the technology or players internally in companies who are driving some of this technology, not just talking about it. Yeah, and then we have a couple of agencies. One of our agency called Mirar has in India done around like, I mean, 50 lakh plus revenues on just voice AI call center. So they run a AI call center using our stack. and then they have delivered so far like 20 plus jewelry brands in few months, which would have taken them 2 years to do without like a voice AI platform, essentially. Just quickly running through, I think this has been like, this is what we have seen as a good playbook, right? As any company, agency, that you pick one or two use cases, create 2 or 3 case studies or samples, pitch to 10 clients, right? Identify 2 to 3 which are hot and who understand and want to move really fast. Do put together things in 2 to 5 days and then just start selling, right? So now you can build an entire business in a month to 6 weeks instead of like 2 years, and just with like one full stack software developer who can leverage the technology. One of the other examples we have with a US client. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much. So in case, I mean, we also have
Aditya, I need to repeat that. You're cutting off.
where we share like all our learnings, all our like basically we share our right on a frequent basis. So if anybody would like to join that, yeah. So I think that's pretty much from my slides. Just wanted to give a quick overview of what like I have been seeing and what we have been seeing. Now I think move it back to Rahul sir, and then we can start the panel discussion.
Yeah, very well said, Aditya. I think we can let our experts Sandeep and Gopesh. Maybe we can go with Sandeep first. He has seen a lot of projects, and Gopesh also has done a lot of work. So maybe Sandeep, we can go ahead, have your thoughts on AI adoption, challenges you are facing, use cases you have been seeing, etc.
So just a little bit of background. I work for a company named Imperialis International. They are a multi-branded wholesaler and retailer. So you will find their men's clothing, particularly in Macy's, Nordstrom, Dillard's, and other major departmental stores. We also have our own stores in the US and the UK, and 6 websites. As Aditya was telling earlier, right? So, and even Rahul sir told earlier, we have been working with AI for a long time. Is that the ChatGPT brought it in the fore for most of the people in the world. Otherwise, the technical people, we have been working with it. So let's say in our websites, we have personalization since 2018, 2019. So that's kind of an AI. And right now, everything, whether it's a machine learning, anything else related to algorithm, which can be something automated, people are calling AI, and we are just going with the flow. Earlier, there was AI and ML was little different. From my organization's perspective, the Gen AI part, which came to the fore after ChatGPT blasted out in 2022, we are using in most of our websites. If you see our websites, the images there, they're all, not all, but most of those are AI generated. And it is definitely helping us in keeping our costs down. Otherwise, you have to go through photo shoot. Not only it takes time, but it also takes a lot of money as well. So this way you are getting the delivery much faster. So that's one place we have primarily used AI, Gen AI, particularly in images and video generation. So from the image, you can have that particular model smiling, dancing, like 8 seconds to 20-second video, which you see in the e-commerce websites. Then the other use cases we have seen is in legal. So our legal team after COVID was very small. But we never really added a lot of people back to the legal because they are using different tools like SuperU, which doesn't really require a full stack legal person to be working on the information there. Now, most of these AI use cases are on that kind of side. We also have a voice bot where our customers call and they can be directed to give the order status and all. Currently, we are working on a enhanced version of that part where it will do, instead of 20% of the work, 80% of the customer service agent work it will be able to do. Again, the intention is more of how can we make everyone more efficient so that the people have time to do something else or much more than what we are doing today. The challenge has been when we, from the IT side, we were sending these emails and to the business leaders on global emails as well, that these are the things going on. But either people are scared, like fearful of AI, that it will be their jobs which will be going away, or for whatever reason, they were not really using. It's like we have Google Tech Stack, and that stack has been given to all the employees for last couple of years. But when we look at their numbers, people using it, they were not really using it. So what we did was, it was more informal way we were pushing. So at the end, what we have to do is, okay, we'll bring up all the business leaders together with CEO's blessing, obviously, and make it more formalized. Because the way we were doing is, okay, taking one case here, and things were working out basically. But like for the larger organization, there was a fear. So we brought all the business leaders, showed them the capability, and then asked them to start using it on their day-to-day life as well. Like particularly in the administrative tasks, like in Google Workspace, emails, slides, sheets. I mean, they are like phenomenal. Like people earlier were like, if you know in Excel, let's say Microsoft Excel and all, right? You need to know formula to be really good in Excel. Right now in Google Sheets, if you go equal to AI and English, type whatever it is, it just does it for you. So it makes everyone so good. But again, most of those AI use cases are in that area, like more administrative, more customer service, or more customer facing. The complicated ones, which will really unlock the value, is more in the enterprise layer. We are still not there. Like we created a lot of business use cases by looking at our business processes, but most of those can be really resolved by process improvement, not necessarily spending money on AI. And that's what the companies needs to think. Like, you need to do AI, but don't do AI for the sake of AI, because they are expensive right now. But if you can just do a simple business process change and it solves it, it makes it better, that's good. We are doing a big project for the supply chain side. Again, people call it AI, but it's more of a machine learning. There is looking at algorithm and then all forecasting and all. But that's going to take a little bit of time. That requires a lot of good data and a lot of discipline in the enterprises to really derive benefit out of it. That was a very long, winding response to Rahul sir's question. So, you're on mute, sir.
Yeah, thanks. That was good, Sandeep. Gopesh, what do you want to add to that, or you put your own perspective on this?
Sure. So based on hi guys, this is Gopesh. Sorry, am I audible? I'm sorry. Am I audible?
Yes, Gopesh, you're audible.
So hi guys, this is Gopesh. First thing first, I'd like to give a brief introduction. I'm Gopesh. I'm an artist basically, architect, enterprise architect, and working on artificial intelligence. So this art is very close to me. So based on the journey from Aditya and sir, Sandeep sir, it's very much resonate with what exactly they are saying, right? So the Aditya said, right, there is a basic framework where the infrastructure, cloud, and top of that we have various model, and then there is a use case implementation where Aditya did Super U, how voice AI can be leveraged. Now, on top of that, his journey is to leverage this AI to the various customers. He's very successful there. And these are the use cases, the small use case, no matter what big or small, these use cases are very, very important. If you look into internalize, you see a lot of innovation around that use cases. Innovations on technology done already. What innovation you bring, leveraging AI. Also, Sandeep sir saying that data is the key. Right now, there are various gaps in today's large language model, GenAI. That gaps is because of this data are trained on internet. The data domain knowledge data and the actual expertise data is still sitting in the organizations. How this data can be leveraged? Data strategy should be there from starting beginning before starting any AI project. That's something brought it. So in my journey, last 3 years, very rigorously looking into the various models, various frameworks, evaluation of those frameworks. As an architect, I have to look very closely in a critic's eye. What is the fundamental principles behind these models? What these model gaps are? When I started, I said, "Hey, this is a done deal. I can implement any use case within three months." I promised, okay, I can do n number of use cases in 3 months. I started with my journey with education because data is already available. Because I selected education edtech industry because data is readily available in form of various format. You can get digital books. There are various books are available. And I look into the journey of a student, a competitive exam, how a student's journey can be, what are their personas in terms of revision, planning, recommendations. It's not a replacement of any coaching institute or any expertise. The use case is around how we can make productive their journey in terms of evaluating their plan and recommending them the best plan and suggest what we can do there. Data was a key. In data, also we need to take care of the compliances because you cannot take data as is. You need to transform data. How we can use LLM to make this data transformative so that you can avoid legal and compliances issue. A lot of companies facing challenges. There are lawsuits against the data privacy or data copyrights. So that was a key challenge I faced initially. Then we have to transform entire data in a manner its transformative is no more copyright. It's totally transform the data. It's where the journey started. And then when I started using, I see 2 to 3 things. There is an impact to the society. Me as a social entrepreneurship, I don't see thing as a lot of money perspective. I see how we can help socially, especially India. There is a quality education is a huge gap. Only few people can afford a lot of money to get quality education. How AI can be leveraged? What are the key challenges that a student faces? That's where journey started. I thought it would be done in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe months, but it took for me to understand entire journey of a student 2 years. Though it was a long journey, we got a lot of gaps in the models, LLM, citation is the key problems because Australia government sued the Deloitte because of the citation of the data was not there. Whatever they're predicting, there is no foundational data or model where can they say this prediction is based on this data. Citation obviously. Education industry also need a citation where this theory or this concept or these questions or this answer is coming from, which book, which author, what writer, where are the real examples are, where the facts are. So these facts has to be there when a student reads any answer from LLM. Today, students are using ChatGPT. Those answers are not verified answer. We found this journey, this issue 3 years back. That problem is being solved using our agentic AI models. From day one, after 6 months of my initial journey, I realized we should have agentic AI models where agent is to read the books. And there are various frameworks. We built certain frameworks. So these are the journey for me. I'll just briefly go 5 minutes. I'll take mostly how my journey started and what problem we address today in India and how this can be scaled to thousands of exams is my slide visible? I'm not sure. Okay, so here it is how we can AI-enabled exam prep. So this is the use case how we can leverage AI models, and then let me- yeah. So what?
Sir, your
Yeah.
screen is
What are the experience challenge? What is the solution AI can bring it? What is the market size for one exam? These are the based on the various data from Times of India and various survey, and how much a startup can capture the market. 3%, 1%. What would be the value of the if you are capturing 3 to 5% market in India? And uh, right, likewise, there are competitive analysis. What are the other competitors in the market? And this is the architecture and framework we come up with. News, there are various models that solves how we can summarize, how we can translate into 6 to 7 languages, because there are various exams, various state exams. How we can do categorization, how we can create a multi-choice question, how we can do assessment, evaluations, mains, and then leveraging various Google Vision AI, Google Voice AI for explanation of certain concept and theory, and experience profile, experience analysis, recommendation, planning, and book database. These are the vector database. These are RAG database. These are the very popular. And the framework, then we have created this framework, and this is already in a market. There are 1,300 students already enrolled, and they are using for the UPSC preparations. So there are various aspects of this: current affairs, news analysis, mind mapping. Any subject you can learn through mind mapping. It's a very quickly grasp, capture the concept. They are smart notes because a student has a challenge. There are 10 to 12 sources, coaching classes, books, notes, their book, digital, how they can aggregate in one place. So this is smart notes is an audio note. Even if you're busy, you can read this your notes. And this is smart notes help student to revise their journey. They can revise, they can identify which notes are important. This tagging happens through AI. These notes are important based on your previous year questions.
Hey, Gopesh,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
are you moving through slides? Because right now in my screen, I can see only the first slide.
Oh, I'm moving, sir. I'm moving. I'm not sure.
Okay. Is
yeah.
anybody else?
No, the slides are stuck. That's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
I'm stuck. I'm sorry. I don't know why it is stuck.
No worries, no worries. Just wanted to
Okay.
see.
Okay.
No,
Maybe my bad. Why it is stuck? Let me. It can quickly.
we can also start the question answers, Gopesh sir.
Yeah. So any questions, guys? Yeah.
Cool. So I think I'll run through a couple of questions for the panel discussion I have, and then we'll open the floor. So we have questions coming in already, so I'll run through them as well. So I think so. First question, Sandeep sir, I have, and I think we can do both the panelists on the go. So like in your organization, Sandeep sir, who owns the AI part, right? Is it the tech team, which has been the CIO vertical, or is it the business team? Is it the overlap, right? Or there is a new kind of vertical which is just like leading all the AI projects and programs. Like, so what's the observation so far? Sir, you're muted.
In our organization, the CIO vertical is owning the AI adoption and all. So me and my CISO, we are responsible for that in our organization. And in the task force, we have business leaders, let's say supply chain lead or merchandising lead. And we meet regularly, and we have my direct reportees who are working on different subject areas. And we are supposed to push it down to the users so that they really see the opportunity for efficiency there and removing their fear. Like most of the people have fear right now that this will take away their job. That's the thing. And then to be really successful in AI adoption is all about efficiency again. So if a person is doing something, a job for 20 hours, it can be done in 5 minutes. The person is scared, like, what will I do for next of the 15 hours or whatever, right? So it's a change. It's coming slowly, but it will be very fast, very soon. And then we are involved our HR organization because it's going to require rethinking of people's job and what people can do once their productivity is increasing and their time is unlocked. Like, what are they going to do if they have additional time in hand? We are working through that process, but primarily driven from the IT side.
Makes sense. And while we are like all on the chat, can we have the answer for all of your org also? So in that way, it's more interactive. So I mean, like kind of like, I mean, although we are taking answers from our panelists, but I would love for all of you to just drop the answers in the chat. So in that way, we all get to know like who's driving AI projects in, I think, different companies. I think Gopesh sir, in the meanwhile, I have one question for you. So I know we have spoken in past as well, and there is always this dilemma of build, buy, or partner, right? So you have companies like us and Google Gemini, who you go and partner or build a use case as a design partner, or you have a team of AI experts who build internally, or you go to an agency, right? And you just buy out, you give your requirement. I think all three have their own pros and cons. So, Gopesh, sir, what has worked for you, or what are you seeing?
Yes. So I know your journey very well. So we had a discussion in the past. Hey, what framework you using? Since I come from architecture background, it's my mindset is to build from scratch. So tools is that very for people who are not from very high tech background. Tools are great. So at N8, I look into that. There are a lot of tools available. So that is starting point for anyone to think the how it works. Number one. Build is very painful journey as I gone through that. And partnership. Let's say there are how we can find complementary partners, complement each other. Your journey, my journey, there are certain problems. I'm expert and you are expert in certain areas. You're expert in voice AI. I'm expert in Vision AI because a lot of documents can be read through Vision AI because the LLM misses certain areas, edge cases, scenarios. We've seen the lot of non-standard document is being not very well read by Vision AI today. Even Google. I talked to the Google team, DeepMind team as well. I had a meeting with them. We showed them that these are the issues. So those gaps can be done through build. And we're starting with the tools like Google has a lot of models and find the partners who are already done. Few people reached to me how you are doing the pipeline for documentation ready. So I said, yes, my model is ready. So any documentation ingestion can be through that I built on. So these are the things.
So Adi and my from build and buy, right? It's a great question, and that's what many of the organizations are dealing with right now. So we are strictly going by the ROI. So let's say this customer voice bot. We are primarily a wholesaler, so we get like 1,000 calls a month. So we spoke with many companies who do provide the customer service voice bot. And they had like the volumes you were showing in your example, like 10,000 calls a month and all, right? And because of that 10,000 call a month, their cost is very high and they pass it on to the customers like us. But it did not make sense. If I have 1,000 calls a month, I don't need to, I'll still get an efficiency. So what we did was we internally created in Google and it was done in much cheaper way. And that's for like one of the examples I'm providing where you have to look at like the money spent is right, or can you build it fast enough? If there are simple use cases, you can build fast internally, build it. But the other case is if you keep waiting on building on your own and the world is moving fast, then you will be left behind. So you have to just deal with all on each use case scenarios.
Let me interrupt a bit. So for the panelists, you continue your discussion, and for the attendees, you can start raising hands like Milind has done. And after the panel discussion is over, we'll take those questions one by one. Go ahead, panelists.
I I have, I think not, I mean, I have a couple of more. So Sandeep sir, I think follow-up question on that, right? ROI is always the driver in the business, right? So we as all tech enthusiasts might really like something or might would love to do 10 projects, but ROI is the key, right? That in your OKR kind of goes on the top, right? So in the past 2 years or 3 years of this AI wave, which projects have you seen moving to production really fast because the stakeholders needed it, right? Or the tech was easy, right? And like it's an overlap of a lot of things. And which ones you still see has been in pilot for 2 years and still is in pilot but does not move, right? So what kind of projects have you seen moving really quick to production, whereas the ones which are like always in discussion but never moves?
So that voice bot was pretty quick to move to production, which we talked about earlier. Again, like from the stakeholder perspective, it was harder for them to envision what artificial intelligence will bring to their particular verticals organization. So we have to go through teaching them, and in different and you do see resistance in the organization for the obvious reasons. Let's say if I am doing AI generated images, people who are taking photos earlier, they have very creative people. So they will not like at the first time that what did AI generate? They can find different faults in that image, but in a mobile or like it's in a laptop, it looks fancy. But for the creative people in their thing, for that kind of thing, we have to go through our CEO, because he does understand obviously that he's gonna unlock a lot of value for the organization. And what takes much longer, Adi, is those kind of things where we have to have really enterprise data. Like say your supply chain, your sales order coming from the customer. There are a lot of issues when different customers send data. And there is not a very straightforward way to solve that. I know AI will be able to solve it, but to be able to make sure that I'm providing my customer right information, I'm creating right order in my ERP, there is still people are hesitant, which is right way to be, because you don't want to screw up your data, which is coming internally. So those are different perspectives.
Awesome. Thanks. And Gopesh sir, I think the next question for you is your thoughts on like the security and compliance bit. So we know like there has been this long history of ISOs and SOC 2 and whatnot when it comes to data security privacy. Like, but I mean, continuing on that aspect, and AI brings its own challenge. So like have you seen any new compliance regulation, or like how do you see like the next set of compliance regulations being handled?
Okay, so I have given very close thought on security and compliance of the data. So when you observe it personally, if you go to ChatGPT, you ask any question, it profiles you. What you're asking, what are your backgrounds are. Likewise, any company who are using LLM models, no matter what Gemini or Copilot, or they're using check whatever LLM models, these models are profiling you, your business, what questions and queries coming from. So that is your data is going somewhere. This is the key intent of this company, is to know about more about your company, your data, your IPs. So there are certain control you can do in terms of sending PII data or financial data. There are a lot of models come to protect you to send data beyond your organization to the LLM. Now, still LLM today they are profiling your company one or another way. So I thought, what are the key challenges on data security? Even though there are a lot of responsible AI, how responsible we are to use AI. There are a lot of cases happen where it is a lot of people, they put their SSN profile of financial data, and the model is not well defined within organization to protect such data. Now we are mature enough to protect those data. Still protecting your data. Today, your business data is also going to these companies, your profiles. How we can deal with these situations? So can we have multi-profile for a business? It will confuse. We can have certain command pattern where the query will start from one. It will go to different profiles so that any answer coming from different profiles may not profile your data. That is a key. The companies are not thinking in these directions. And agentic AI that you are working on, right? Voice AI. I worked for the company Quifax. We implemented 2 years back using Dialogflow, TTS, Voice AI. I was talking to Google team. Hey, if people are talking in terms of their SSN number, how you can protect that your agentic AI is not capturing that data, though they're talking. So this was a gap in the TTS model. They thought through how they can protect, because when AI agent asks, they ask few questions about the person. So there is a personal data. How we can protect that data? So they did certain tuning to not send that data to the model, and we are doing the quality analysis of those conversations between the customer and agent, and we're doing the compliance reading. Now those SSN or number, whatever exchanges are happening, financial number are being masked too. But how it is masked at a TTS side, we don't know how this company are dealing with it. Still, there is a questions on data privacy today. It's a big challenge.
Awesome. I think give it now to Rahul sir or Milind sir to have their question. So we also have giving enough time to the audience.
Yeah, thank you, Aditya, Sandeep, and Gopesh for your insights. So far we have only one hand raised, and what we'll do is I got few questions, but anybody in the audience, if you would like to ask question, you can raise your hands, then unmute yourself and then ask the question. So Milind, go ahead. Yes, it's your turn.
Hi everyone. Nice chat. So we are just starting our journey in our company. So this is I would say that I come from the pharmacy side, work for McKesson, and we are just starting the journey. So being on the pharmaceutical, the security of data is the key. So we are looking at like Chat GPT right now, which is customized for our needs, but still everyone is afraid that the PII data should not go out. So adoption has been slow. So what I'm seeing is that the question was who is controlling the data, right? How the adoption is working. So I'm seeing that we are getting a lot of new faces, like as you said, Sandeep, that CIO runs this. Now we have SVP of data and AI and all. So now the journey is starting. Now he will come up with the strategy and all, right? So I'm just curious that those who have been in this field, how have you seen the collection of data? Because data is spread across. Unless we have a good data, you don't have a good AI model, and people will be afraid. So any of the panelists want to share their experience or journey, how you guys in your company got started?
Yeah, I think we can start with Sandeep sir, then Gopesh sir, and then I can jump in.
I mean, in our tech stack, we have Snowflake where we are putting all of our data. And Snowflake has many tools, like they have Cortex Analyst. And they are also offering like you can work with cloud code in there. So your question is like, how do you expect the data to be correct, like data cleansing, and like I'm trying to understand the question.
Not data cleansing. So
I think aggregation of data and cleaning of data, so it's ready for AI to be used.
Yeah, AI. And then how did you start the journey? Means data is spread across, right? All companies, you have a disparate systems. Like I have 15 applications around, and they're like 10 years old now. Data, there's no consolidation, right? Now everyone thinks we have to start in the AI journey, but unless there's a data lake or anything easily available, then cleansing is the second part, like ETL and all, right? So what were the few of your obvious, what do you call, learnings to
Sure.
push the data collection out of these disparate systems into one? And if there was any learnings from them?
Definitely. So our data, as I mentioned, that is in Snowflake, but it was not necessarily started for AI work. It was like many years ago, because we wanted a centralized place for our data. Again, and there are two parts. Like when we are talking about having clean data at one place, we are more looking for more of analytical decision making kind of power there. But let's say if your data in different ERPs, I have one ERP for retail, one ERP for my wholesale operations. Like I have financial ERP for finance operations. They have their own data. Although I'm putting all the data in my Snowflake, I can still orchestrate my decision making, human kind of decision making in my different systems. I have to like use a platform to be able to talk and understand what humans are doing, and based on that I can update my different ERP. So there are like two. One is your action taken, which people do most of the thing day to day. Another is where you need a centralized data to be able to have more of an analytical decision making on what that data entails to.
Okay, great. Thank you. We have a couple of more people. Abhineet Mishra, you go ahead, unmute and ask your question.
Rahul sir, 1 second. Before we start the next question, Gopesh sir, do you have any pointer on that you wanna put in on that question? If not, then we can.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I worked on the FinOps data. We have the millions of transactions happening, at least 30 million transactions happening in a day. So this data is very important to generate the billings. And any change in this usage, these are the usage data, 30 million records in a FinOps data. Now, this FinOps data has a lot of like financial aspects of the data. How we can aggregate this data in a way so that we can do analysis and find the anomalies in the data. So we have created an entire huge pipeline in terms of how this data can be ingested into one place, whatever transactions are coming. So we've created a real-time API data, real-time API streaming microservices, and we know that what is the intent of the use case. We have to funnel this in huge 30 million data into the intent was to how we can identify anomalies in the billing and invoices. There is a huge gap. There is a millions of gaps in the invoice generated to the customer. This was took almost 6 to 7 months before starting AI leveraging LLM. So always data pipeline, data lake will be always there. It is no replacement of these technologies through AI LLM. It may play a certain role at last layer of before sending to your data anomalies or LLM to analyze your data.
Yeah, I think my take there is, Milind sir, pick a use case where you don't need internal or enterprise data. So as I think Sandeep sir was saying, image creation does not need internal data too much. So then you're able to pick and start some quick use cases. And then over time, you build other use cases where you need a lot of enterprise data, because or else you'll spend 6 months to a year just building the data, right? So leverage other models which are already built, which are great in the industry. Have some early winners, have some leadership buy-in, and then you build that data use case, I think, with time. But yeah, over to you, Rahul sir.
Okay, so Abhineet Mishra, please go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, sirs. Good morning. First of all, a fantastic discussion. So I am Abhineet. I work as an engineering manager at Amazon. Two questions. Maybe the answer would have been answered in parts, but Sandeep sir, Gopesh sir, and Adi, what are the biggest challenges which you have faced or which you have seen building AI platforms for your organization? Second, what is your biggest fear? Which maybe like elephant in the room where people are not talking, which you foresee with the AI or most importantly, agentic AI adoption in the future.
So the two challenges, Abhinit, great question. Like one is people are scared. And second is you don't have enough people who know how to orchestrate this thing across different platforms. So those are the two. So internally, people are like, may not be necessarily providing you all the things they are doing in their day-to-day life because they're scared of their jobs. And the second one is internally in my team, like I don't have the full breadth of talent who can orchestrate end to end. And obviously security, like we talked about earlier, is always something in back of our mind that you don't want to accidentally give all of your proprietary data to an open platform which can be used to train.
Right. And like maybe a follow-up question on that, Sandeep sir, how is your org solving that orchestration problem? Because this is it's a problem which everyone is facing right now.
So we are reaching out to people like Adi, to different startups, and there are quite a few startups in India, like small teams. They are doing these kind of stuff, and whatever we can build internally fast enough, we are building it. But the challenge with his internal team is still working with all those legacy system, what we can call legacy system. So their time is spent on that. But we are training the internal team and utilizing different startups to help us get there faster.
Okay, yeah, there seems to be a lot of space for consultants now, I guess.
Yeah, but the people don't know. Most of the people don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Actually, that's a very good point. I am talking to somebody who was an engineer and moved to AI, and he's very successful in AI. So I'm working with him to create a path for a regular engineer like me who never did any LLM or PhD to how to pivot into AI, how to get rid of the noise and focus on something that can get you AI enabled. I mean, Gopesh, Aditya, Sandeep, you guys have been practicing AI. So you have already crossed the bridge. But a lot of us are there, on this side of the river, seeing how do I get there. So future NITRUS talk will be about that, in which he will give practical advice.
I mean, Ashish has one question. I think Ashish has his hands up.
Yeah, Ashish Agrawal is the next hands up.
Actually, more than a question, I also would like to share one of the use case I recently implemented within Wells Fargo. So just a brief introduction. I manage a platform within Wells Fargo, which it's utilized for enterprise content management. So all line of business within Wells store their documents within my platform. So now majority of the AI initiatives that has started to happen within Wells, they need data from this document. So I have been kind of involved in a lot of these AI initiatives. I'll share one of the initiative I recently completed. We kind of completed a MVP one, but we see the results of how AI can benefit. So when the documents comes in, like customer upload documents, and for any line of business origination product, that like whether it's a mortgage loan, home lending, CIB, commercial, whatever. So when we get document from a customer, let's say you ask a customer to upload a W-2, there's a chance that the customer can make mistakes. They can upload a picture of a cat. So today in a legacy system, we have hundreds of people sitting there opening these documents, confirming that it's a W-2. So they check marks that, hey, this is a W-2. We have our own internal classification of the document. So they have to classify the document that this is like, there's a code for that, say 1001, something like that. So there's a code for each document type. And then they also take some key data out of, we call as indexing information, so that we can take that and store the document into our repositories, mapping to the customer, mapping to the account, their other business entities. So we have hundreds of people, if not thousands of people managing that, because we get millions of documents on a daily basis. So what we have recently done was like, hey, can we start using AI to detect what is this document type is? So we have started to build a solution where we have curated our prompts, and through prompt engineering and context engineering, now we send a document to AI and we ask AI to detect the document type. And using AI, we have found that, and we have just recently implemented a phase one, we are getting a much higher success rate even as compared to human. So that's one. The cost of classifying this document is almost 90% reduced as compared to human. And the time it takes to classify, because the volume is high and we cannot continue to hire humans, at times it takes almost 6 to 8 hours for a particular loan documents to be classified, stored in repository that can be utilized for further processing documents. Now we are taking less than 2 minutes, maybe within minutes, that we are classifying documents and storing into a repository. So just sharing that one of the use cases we implemented using AI.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yep.
So there is no more hands raised. I think I take this opportunity to ask my question. So
Rahul sir, I have one follow-up after this on the same one. So once
Okay.
you're done.
Okay, fine. So my question is this. See, everybody is talking about saving money, saving time, and what we are, as a side effect, will be, we will need less people. And right now, HR or senior people will be very sensitive to the backlash, and they will probably not do right now. But in future, slowly, it will happen. Like, I'm going to retire in a few years, so it's not going to affect me. But young engineers who are in their 30s or 20s, even 40s, they have a long runway ahead of them. And with AI, suddenly people, work will not be required. A lot of work will be done by the AI, which is, I'm not sad about that. But what is the advice to young engineers? One of the things that came to me was that verification may be required. Once you let AI make a decision, how do you make sure that it is the correct decision? So QA probably might come back. So these are have you guys even thought that what would the young generation of engineers do to remain relevant in maybe 10 years? Because AI will become very good in 5-10 years. So
They need to just adapt to that. So let's say I have two engineers. One is using augmented code cursor or Klein, whatever. That person is giving me 10x the productivity compared to somebody who is still hand coding it. So any company will require the other person. So people just need to, when they are in market, 5 to 10x more productive than other people. That's the only way. And then, yes, there is a fear, as you said, Rahul sir, that because none of us know what will happen tomorrow with the new stuff coming up. But I am hopeful that people will be able to do more. That's the hope. Yes, the companies will shrink from their human number of perspective, but there will be more companies doing and solving problems. And I always think like YouTube, right? Before YouTube came in, like Warner Bros. And all, they all controlled all the content creation. YouTube democratized that. So likewise, this thing will democratize problem solving for most of the people. And that's the hope.
Yeah, that's very well said.
So I have the answer for this. So thank you so much, Sandeep sir. So I add on top of that. So today, students, right? For that, I talk to most of the students. What are the key challenges for them in future 10 years, right? So today you said human in a loop, agentic AI. Today we talk about agentic AI, right? Agentic AI is nothing but human in a loop. So what it does, whatever AI predicted answers, if prediction is lower than certain bandwidth, it will go to the human and evaluate whether this is correct answer or not. So those low, where the low accuracy is there, because of the lack of the domain knowledge, lack of the expertise. So where the students, they need to enhance their more on the domain and very, very close to financial industry, insurance industry, pharmacy, research. They should focus not on technology, they should focus on domain, and lot of research paper they should read, because that is going to help them to make better future. Even today, let's say I want to make an advertisement. Today it is doing, but it is doing through at least hundreds of prompts in correction, and then it is doing today. If a student can come up with how they can minimize number of prompts and create a productivity based on their domain knowledge is the key, any sector. So they should look on, let's say they're Georgia Tech or Tech College, they need to leverage one domain at least. Insurance, finance, market, whatever. That is the key.
Very well, very well. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, very well said. And the thing is, engineering is not the end. Engineering is the means to an end. The end is for business to succeed in whatever business is doing. So the domain. So what this LLM is probably doing, in my opinion, is that it's reducing the engineering dependence on engineering. And so if engineers can become domain experts, then that can be one way to remain relevant.
Correct.
And it's important to pick a domain because there are too many.
Too many domains. Every domain can be subdivided. In insurance industry, if we divide, there are 10 different domains. Even underwriting. Today, risk. I tell you the risk assessment. AI is coming. Can you create a risk assessment of AI models because of AI is taking a decision, not thinking about AI as an insurance industry. Let's say some accident happens, you cannot fight with Tesla. It's insured because of I need to take insurance on Tesla's car of AI model that I'm using. Anything happens, I need to get my money back. I don't want to fight for 10 years with the Tesla. And you cannot fight with them. Let's mechanical failure in your BMW car or any Mercedes, any car. Do you fight with BMW? No. You go to insurance company, hey, whatever failure or accident happens, you have insurance there. So AI as an insurance is becoming a big sector. I'm working on this area. If you have the data for AI risk, this can be used for AI for underwriting risk. Decide what would be the premium of your car that is AI enabled or anything. Even commercial, Amazon is using robotics to lift and shift their package. Some big disaster happens, then that company, Amazon, cannot fight with, hey, you made the wrong decision. That can fight back to you, oh, your place is not good enough. Can they minimize the risk and get early compensation of those risks, mitigated, not fighting with the company who are making company? They are becoming a giant, these AI companies. Can AI industry come and play a role? So that is kind of creativity required for students to look into.
Yeah. I mean, insurance, in also medical insurance, all those billing, those things are domains. Fintech is another. My cousin is doing a big work in fintech. They are getting a lot of use cases. So, Milind, do you want to go ahead?
Rahul, I have one more opinion on it.
So, go ahead.
I believe this is like a golden era for engineers, and I'll tell you why. Right, like early on, I mean, most of us being engineers would not be doing sales, but now, like with us, right, being an engineer, I can do 100,000 sales calls today without being a sales expert, without knowing a lot about sales, but being an engineer, right? Like earlier, you had to be an artist to create art forms or to create good images or create videos. Now, as an engineer, you can build models and you can have orchestration layer. You can run and build an entire movie without the entire crew, which is so artistic, right? Like they have spent 50 years on it. But you can literally learn and move things fast, and you can be anything and everything today. So I actually believe the whole fiasco of people saying, hey, engineers will have a tough time. I actually think everyone else will have a tough time. Engineers are having their golden era.
Yeah. I mean, everybody can be everybody. So I created a very interesting image for our reunion. I created a song, and then using one AI, I generated a music and thing. I had nothing, no poetic skill and no music skills, but I created it. And then I was thinking that if everybody is a Picasso, nobody is a Picasso. Like everybody is doing everything else. So it will probably be a very interesting consolidation or whatever is going to happen. Let's see what happens. So Milind, let's go to your questions and then we can wrap up.
Yeah, my take is productivity will increase. Now, generalization will happen, but the day will come when people will need the specialization, where the human will start coming into play again. So this will happen, but down the line, 10 years, people will say, oh, we need some specialization. So we'll go back to that era.
Yeah.
It's good. Like now, product guys will be more demand who have an engineering background. As you said, the domain experts, they will be in demand who can understand how to use AI and all those stuff. So getting back to my question, just my thought. Coming back to my question, have anyone used like customized chat GPT or any in your company? And a lot of people have talked about the data. So what is your take? How much they eat away your data? I heard somewhere, I haven't what do you call analyzed or found it yet. They say once your session is done, it's gone. So what is your take on those aspects? whether
Yeah.
chat GPT, profilization and all you talked about, Gopesh.
Yeah, so
That's
let me
what
give one very quick what exactly I did for customized conversations. So this is if you see these guys, this is a current affairs. There are data is being summarized every day by AI. Even image is being selected by AI. So we collect data every day, and this is being taken by agentic AI. Let's say if you go to particular data, this is one of the news. So how you can customize your, let's say you want to ask certain questions out of this. Hey, I want to know mangroves species. You can explain. So this is a customization of bot. You can get answer. Let's say you want to generate certain questions on the species discoveries. So these are coming from documentation that is generated as a news. That is the news of environment and ecology biodiversity, 14th of April, published in the Hindu. And this what is the use of these mangroves? And AI selected this news is very important. I'm processing at least 500 news in a day, and only 10 news are coming as per examination. So this is a huge, and now I want to chat on this news. So you can chat on this news, this answer can be answered by this agentic AI. So a lot of such things are happening. Also, these are the questions. So you can ask questions on this one, right? Mongrels, you can answer this. I customize the answer. Like user can go and attempt these questions. Oh, yeah, these are the good questions based on this context. They can customize, they can get the explanation. Explanation is coming from AI because this AI is from books. This answer is coming from books because it took time for citation of the time. Why it is taking 20 seconds? Because it's going to hundreds of books. There is a RAG system behind the system. Also, you have a lot of ad chat. You can do a lot of customization based on the questions, a lot of science and technology, economics, you can ask questions. So there are a lot of customization you can do on chatbot. Now you can, let's say I want to store the data. So we have all the any question. Let's say if I go here quickly to, let's say I go here, I want to, this is very important information, let me save. So I can make a note, add to notes, note will be stored here. Now you can go to the notes and let me go to the notes. Where is the, this is the notes. Okay, this is smart notes. Now you got it. Now you can make mind mapping of these notes. These notes are aggregated. Important conversation can be saved, tagged, and you can also do the mind mapping. You can do expand. Oh, this is a mangrove. This is easy to understand for anybody. Easy to remember. So these are the customized chatbot for students or any journey we can do. So this is the things. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, so much of information is there, but somehow AI is actually one tool using which you can try to cope with the flood of information, but it can generate its own flood. So, anyway, yeah, I think let's thank you so much, all the panelists and the attendees. I will stop the recording. After stopping the recording, we continue chatting for some time if somebody wants to chat. But let me just stop the recording.